Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to our Monday post, which is when I always post cards and that kind of thing that's happening. I really am in need of cards, you guys. I just have not had time to make them. I've been doing a lot of memory keeping stuff and Project Life stuff and playing a lot with the brand new kits that came out in the catalog, and so I just haven't really been able to dive in and make a card. And then the other thing is I've been waiting for to get some of the new stamp sets to really make cards. But I realized that I needed to send thank you cards out obviously for orders this month, and I really needed to make some cards. So I have some product here. This is one of the new stamp sets. I ordered this in the pre-order when we could pre-order items, and it is called Friendly Wishes, and it's not one of my favorite sets. I have had a hard time really using it. I had gotten it thinking it would be a little bit easier to use, and it hasn't been. So I just pulled this stamp set out. I kind of got an idea. I pulled out some chalkboard paper. So this is retired. I'm sorry to say that I just now have gotten it out to play with. I had 2 packs of it and I just completely forgot about it, and now you cannot purchase it through Stampin' Up. So that makes me sad. But I went ahead and I got this out, and I cut these at 3x4 squares, and that is one of the tips that I like to do when I'm having a hard time designing a card or something. Layering a 3x4 piece of cardstock or whatever onto something else makes it super simple. So I went ahead and I cut these at 3x4. Then I cut these at 4x5 1/4, so they're gonna fit on a card base. And then I have my card base. So this is the cherry on top designer paper that comes in the 6x6 paper pad. And it's beautiful. It just has all these really fun designs and colors. And so I cut that, and then I went ahead and cut some card bases out of Dijon Mustard, which is the one of the new in colors. So what I thought I would do, this is my idea, is I just cut a random amount of these, and then I'm gonna layer this on, and I'm gonna stamp in white stays on onto the chalkboard paper. I'm gonna show you that, but then I'm thinking of layering a flower down here on the corner. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I need to grab a few more supplies, and then I'll be back to show you the stamping portion of this card. Okay guys, I'm back, and I think I'm gonna go a different direction. So let's just start putting things together and see what happens, what I come up with. So we can go ahead and layer this piece of cardstock down. Let's zoom in so you guys can see. I'm gonna go ahead and layer this piece down. Now I wanted these cards, when I made them, I wanted them to just be pretty quick because I want to make several of them. I'm completely out of cards, so I don't even remember the last time I sat down and made a bunch of cards. So I have that. Now I have my chalkboard piece right here. Again, this is in 3x4. I'm gonna take this stamp set, which so you can see I've not even really used it. I've not put any of it together. So we're going to use this image right here. It's gonna be this one right here. I'm not gonna bother putting the sticker on this right now because what I do with these, I need a bigger block. What I do with my clear mount stamps so that they stick better to my block is it's a little trick, and you just take your sticker part. I really like having the sticker on the stamp. I really like to be able to see that. But because of the climate I live in, my stamps don't always stick to my block real well. So what I do is I just trim around the image as close as I can. I'm not gonna do this whole thing on camera, but I just trim around my image as close as I can, and then it allows more of the cling portion of your stamp to cling to your block, and that has really helped. So I'm going to use my white stays on, and white stays on is kind of a mess to use, but it really gives you the best look on this chalkboard paper. So we're going to ink that up. We're going to make sure this is even on my grid mat. I'm going to try not to stick my face in the camera, and I'm going to center this. Pull that off. Look at how pretty that is. I love the way that pops. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab one of my little sponges out, And we're gonna take a little bit of white StazOn, and you really gotta push it in there. It's a little bit hard to get it onto that sponge. And then I'm gonna sponge all around that. Okay, so there's that piece. This piece has already been put on, so look, we're almost done. So I'm gonna layer this piece on here, and then what I found was a butterfly punch. I was going to use a flower, but I'm kind of over flowers. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna use my ATG gun for this chalkboard paper because ATG adhesive is stronger than my snail adhesive. So I'm going to center this right on here. So that already is a very simple card, and I think it looks fabulous, and you could send it just like that. I always like to do a little something. So here's a butterfly. I just took some of my extra pieces from when I cut down my pieces for my card. I just was searching through these and I found some that will work. So just look through your scraps. So then let's go ahead and put the butterfly on dimensionals. We're almost done, guys. We can just do, I think we can probably just do one. I think that will be good. Put this right in the corner. And then of course we're going to use some rhinestones. I like to save these little envelopes that my Sizzix framelits come in, and I just cut it down with my trimmer and then I corner round right here, and then I keep all of my rhinestones and candy dots and everything right in this little container. And then you can see, just like that, I have all my items organized and at my fingertips. So let's take some of these smaller rhinestones. Have the little butterfly. It's popped up a little bit, has those beautiful rhinestones, and it just adds a little something extra to that card. So this is a super simple card. There's not much to it. I'm going to do all of these designs. I'll show you at the very end how all of these worked out. I'll do different colors of butterflies for each of the different patterns, but that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a super simple card I can send out as a thank you. I always write a note on a 3x4 card, and then I put it inside the card so that when I send you the thank you card for placing an order, you can actually reuse the card. It is my hope that that's what you do. I never stamp the back of my cards, and I just include that note on a 3x4 card so that you can reuse that card to send out to friends and family. So I will finish making these cards, and then I will be back to show you the finished ones that I've created. Okay guys, I'm back, and it's been about 10 minutes, and I was able to put all these cards together. So there's that design right there, and then there's this design, and I went ahead and picked a different designer paper for the butterfly. I didn't think the blue would really go with it. And then there's this design. So these are the 3 designs. And I love the way they came out. They're perfect, they're simple. I was able to put together quite a few. And even on these, the ones I just put together, I didn't even ink around the edges. I felt like because this was white, it kind of got lost anyways. So I didn't even bother doing that. So those are the cards that I made. I wanted to share with you guys how I clean my StazOn off my stamps. I have the StazOn cleaner, and it looks really gross because obviously I use it mostly on black, but that's not gonna matter. So what I do is I just tap my cleaner right to my stamp. I'm not tipping it over, it has a little felt top, and I just tap it right to my stamp all over. And then I just take this stamp to my scrub over here, and I clean it, and then if I need to do it again, I kind of just do it again. I can just tap it in there, get it in all of those places. Sometimes you have to do it on your block because your block will get a little stays on there, so then it's pretty clean. So then I just make sure I dry it, and then I can take that off. And a really great way to clean your blocks is to use this. I use just Purell hand sanitizer. You never want to use anything harsh on your blocks. You never want to use a scrubby or a kitchen dish, you know, where you wash your dishes, a scrubby pad, because it will ruin your blocks. It'll scratch them up. So I just take a little bit of that rubbing alcohol, and it takes off all of the ink or anything, and then it also takes off all the oil from my fingers from touching it. So that's just a little extra tip for you guys. You can head over to my website by just clicking right up here. It'll take you to my coordinating blog post. I share with you guys a list of supplies along with photos of my project, and then also any Stampin' Up! News that's going on. And then at the very bottom of all of my blog posts, you can enter your name and email address, and you can keep up to date with what's going on with me. I send out an email every Friday that has memory keeping related items on it, and then also I send out Stampin' Up! Updates, fun items. If you're on my mailing list, my email mailing list, I randomly send out once a month. I will randomly pick a few people, and I just send out nice little gifts in the mail, that kind of thing. So if you would like to get some freebies every once in a while, then please make sure you join me and keep up to date with what's happening. So thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out with me today. I will be back tomorrow with a Project Life by Stampin' Up! A kit or a layout or something. I'll have something up for you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later.